Hello, and welcome to the Nine of Clubs talk. Nine of Clubs. It is a very mixed energy. It is one of these cards that has very opposite energies interacting and coalescing within the same person. The energy of the nine is very allowing, very open at the top. It is the essence of non-judgment, or it's trying to figure out non-judgment. Let me tell you, those six of diamonds get non-judgment. They really get it because they're sitting in the house of the nine of clubs, and they are just the least judgmental people I've ever met. So wonderful, six of diamonds. But the nine of clubs is sitting in the house of the queen of, which is the bliss vibration. The bliss. Yeah, I was thinking about bliss a lot today. In fact, I had a bliss dream this morning. It was one of those dreams where you're like, damn it, I'm awake. I want to go back. It was a bliss dream. Oh, it was great. Coming together within myself. Okay, so nine of clubs. What does nine of clubs mean in of itself? It is about being open at the top, looking for a larger and larger story. I've nicknamed it the whole story. The nine of clubs want to tell you the whole story because there's a wholeness. Like this little piece of knowledge isn't a standalone thing. It has a context. It has a history. It's got all these little tentacles. It's got a whole cosmos that goes with it. And because the nine of clubs is my Mars card, that's why I come on here and I talk too much. I tell you the whole story. And sometimes that's great when you've got the patience for it. I'm ADD, so I don't even have the patience to listen to my own videos. I am not kidding. No, I do. I try to. I go in and out of that. But anyway, the nine of clubs, the whole story, the cosmos of an idea. Okay, on one side they have the nine of spades, and on the other side they have the jack of hearts. So there's a Christ consciousness available to the nine of clubs and to all of us today. The nine of clubs, or the jack of hearts that sits right next to it, is a fixed card. It is the Christ card. It is a very spiritual card. It reaches into ancient knowledge and wisdom and divine love. And the ego cannot help but inhabit that energy with a little martyrdom, a little codependence, and a lot of stubborn rigidity. Nine of clubs, for all their love and sweetness and generosity and curiosity about you and wanting to share and talk the whole story, they're kind of controlling, and there is a controlling and rigid aspect about them. But the thing is, because it's a heart and it's the Christ card, you can push on it a little bit and then they'll just, okay, they'll yield. But sometimes they don't. Like in home situations, like when they're inhabiting it in the descending hand, it's their moon card, and like it can mean that the emotional launch pad in childhood was super religious. There was something very fixed about it. Maybe mom or dad or someone in the home was in the circle of seven. And it can mean that they put this iron bar in the ground and they're like, this is my emotional foundation, is that I'm stubborn. And it's their secret. It's a secret stubbornness that they have because the jack of hearts, because the nine of clubs will fold so easy. They're open. They can be kind of vague about what they believe. They're open about everything. The nine of clubs just wants to learn more information, more data. But that jack serves to balance them out. It's a balance thing. A lot of cards have this kind of two extreme cards right next to each other. So you'll see this kind of extreme dual nature. Another one of those is the eight of spades with the ace of hearts right next to it. So the ace of spades is quiet confidence. I always think of the field marshal or Rommel or Patton. It's a very strong military, quiet confidence. Comes from that king of clubs under it, has mastered subjective consciousness. I know my truth. I know who I am. And then this Eight of Spades doesn't need to advertise it to everybody, this confidence. But then if you are the Eight of Spades, right next to you is that Ace of Hearts, which means sometimes you are going to be absolutely freaking infantile with a lot of power. So, you know, and the infantile too is sometimes just really, really tenderhearted, very, very sensitive, and a big call to attend, to learn how to attend to the inner child. So the Nine of Clubs, what else? It's got that Nine of Spades right next to it. And the reason I'm saying right next to it now instead of Moon and Sun is because, in one direction you're descending, in another you're ascending. So let's stick with the descending for a minute. Jack of Hearts can be the stubborn, the rigid, the I'm here to give, the Christ consciousness. I'm here to heal the world. So they collect all their things that need help. Then the Nine of Spades on the other side. This Mercury card is open to a tremendous amount of depth, a largeness. Nine of Spades is the death card, but what do we see beyond death? It's always a bigger and bigger story, a bigger context to understand everything. So a very open mind, and they're very beautiful. Nine of Spades tend to be very beautiful people. But if we turn it in the other direction, that Nine of Spades, instead of a mental practice, becomes this quiet, emotional, I'm resting in the arms of infinity. I am so safe that I'm resting in the arms of the infinite. It's an incredibly expansive energy to have as a moon card. It means that you've got room for everything. And I would say the potential for graciousness is just huge with the Nine of Clubs. And then that Jack of Hearts in the Mercury becomes the I am Christ in my speech. I am Christ in my navigation, in the way I go about things, in my mind, how I think about things. And it's love. So a question you might ask yourself today is, what have I been doing with that very, very powerful Jack of Hearts energy that's available to us? Have I accessed, higher consciousness and love and the spirit of the Christ? I am, my ego is nothing. I am here to love, and have you accessed that Nine of Spades? Also the Queen of Hearts. We can't leave without talking about the Queen of Hearts. So that's the house that the Nine of Clubs is sitting in. So there's a very maternal vibe about this card. Even the men that I know who are the Nine of Clubs are very, yeah, they're sexy. And that comes from the wholeness. Robert Camp calls it the sexy Nine of Clubs. But that's because the cosmos, like cosmetics or the cosmos, there's a harmony in the wholeness, and that is beautiful. Like, someone who is beautiful has like this balance and harmony in their cosmos. Anyway, the Queen of Hearts, yeah, even those men who are the Nine of Clubs have a very tender, maternal feeling about them. Very kind, very caring, very expansive. I would say even heading towards a shamanic level of awareness of things. And that Queen of Hearts means they're going to probably deal with addiction of some kind. It's the pleasure realm, and we use pleasure to create altered states, altered experiences to avoid the pain, because this place has a lot of pain. It's a shit show, right? So, you know, there will be the realm of addictions that they're dealing with. And just because this is a Queen of Hearts focus, I'm just going to give you a little blurb on my understanding of the Queen of Hearts, and then I'll just take off. Everyone's out in the sun enjoying the view counts are low, and that's okay. It means people are really, God, enjoying what we've been kind of handicapped in our ability to enjoy, just getting out and about, with the people, with the sun, with nature. The Queen of Hearts has the widest spectrum of interpretation with any single card I've ever experienced. And so it kind of makes sense. There's this, maybe she's learning from the Nine of Clubs. There's always a relationship between these cards, and it's never just one way, it's always two way. So, you take two things and associate them. And that's how you learn about the card system. How is expansive consciousness connected to bliss? There's a lot of places you could go with that. Expanded consciousness, drugs, altered states, anything that lifts us into the plane of bliss. Whether it's okay, so the upper layers of the bliss spectrum is marriage, motherhood, sex, this whole realm of emotional fullness, the feminine mastery of love is pleasure. I think that pleasure is a big part of that, the beauty of love. And also there's a very powerful and protective mother energy that goes with that too. And then you begin to sort of, you go down in the spectrum, and it's altered states and addiction and illusion and projection. I would say projection is kind of up here, not all the way at the bottom. But and losing touch with reality, of course, would be one of them. But that's the Neptune intersection where this Queen of Hearts is sitting. So why has she traveled to Neptune? What is she learning there? Her home is Venus Saturn. She's asking the question, what is the divine purpose of love? It's healing and beauty. That's where she lives. But she's taken a little trip. She's like, I'm going to learn what I can learn in Neptune. Let's deal with the realm of illusion. Let's deal with the magic of projection. Why don't we just call up the term mirror neurons? What is compassion? We, biochemically in our brains, it's because of the mirror neurons. We see something, we feel something about it. We see an emotional experience and we feel something about it. It's just how we're wired. So projection in this space of separateness and the illusion of separateness, we're playing the game of separateness. I'm the Seven of Diamonds. I'm the Queen of Hearts. I'm the Eight of Spades. We're all of it, But here we have an assignment to be a separate individual and really live that to its full. So in our separateness, that the merging of the Neptune energy becomes, I haven't been taking care of details. I haven't paid this bill. I haven't gotten back to this person. I haven't, whatever, these little tasks I haven't, and I'm just, I'm chewing on it and I bury it. I swallow it. I bury it deep. And then my child walks in and I'm like, have you done your homework? And you also have not picked up your room, and you blah, 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 and you just, and we do it all the time. And we're just taking all that discomfort and just like, the mirror neurons aren't like firing with consciousness and love. The mirror neurons are like gonna do some damage there. And it's coming from your, wanting to just puke out all this discomfort. And it's like, so the real work of love, self-love, is to be like, okay, how can I really be in right relationship to myself about all these unfinished tasks? How can I love myself in this place instead of projecting that on someone else? So the energy of Neptune can be about illusions and not being really clear. And it can translate to the Nine of Clubs energy in sort of a dangerous way, right into the danger zone. So the danger zone for the Nine of Clubs is to get into the energy of projection with the rigidity of the Jack of Hearts and the authority of the Nine of Spades. They can get it really wrong. And you guys, I'm just theorizing, okay? I am not bagging on some Nine of Clubs that I know. I'm just looking at this formula and going, oh my gosh. So does anybody know a Nine of Clubs who's just gotten it really wrong on occasion? Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah. It's kind of a tangential. It's like, oh yeah, There was an anger thing going on there too, and that's interesting. Where is that coming from? Well, the descending hand lies in the Mars line. Nine of clubs are really practical people. But they're really here to learn emotional maturity, emotional development, emotional clarity. And they've got all these, all these gifts, all this intelligence and giving and love and practical and expansive consciousness. But I would say the most difficult, challenging lesson when they've really deepened into really growing past some of the weaknesses, I think it's emotional development. I think it's about owning their own emotional reality and doing the healing work that's called for with that. And in fact, bipolar is a common thing with the Nine of Clubs. And this one that I'm thinking of, when he got out of his kind of unconscious stage, he realized shortly thereafter that he was that time period when I knew him, and he was just not treating someone I cared about with a lot of respect or love. He came to the understanding of, oh my gosh, I'm bipolar and I need to take responsibility for this. I need to take my meds. I need to get into therapy. And man, he did. He did. And he just really accelerated into a kind of self-actualization. So when we take their chart and we go into the self-actualization direction, we go to the right and up. So they become aware that they have something really unique to give in the marketplace. Something really special, something really unique, something that's not about giving, serving, martyrdom, healing, helping, saving. It's something that's a little more akin to their specialness. Well, so anyway, I'm going to end it there. I hope you all have had a lovely Nine of Clubs day. And wonder if I turn the chat off or something. No one said hi, but that's okay. You don't have to. Saying hi means you're becoming visible. And 9 is kind of a disappearing energy. You just don't want anybody to see me today. That's okay. So I'll see you tomorrow with tomorrow's the 8 of Clubs. Woo! So what's the gift for today? I always ask the question. I should do this sooner before I start closing. There's always a gift from today that you will need for tomorrow. And I think that the gift today, I just felt a big energy relax, and that just could be because the solar flares aren't quite so crazy. It wasn't windy today. We can finally it's a little reprieve from the supercharged energy that's been on the planet the last couple of days, really. But that may also be the Queen of Hearts energy of just, the wateriness of the Neptune energy. And just, I hardly accomplished any career tasks today. And I was just busy enjoying pragmatic stuff like putting contact paper under the kitchen sink and stuff like that. It was so satisfying. So the gift from today, you will need tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be access to the Akashic records. It's going to be access to information on many planes of existence. It may be a day that you are going to be really rigid and stand in your truth with some power and force, and maybe just enough and maybe too much. We got to watch our power levels tomorrow, our urge to control everybody. But also it's about truth, the Akash. What is in the Akash? What is the multidimensional information that's going to be available to us tomorrow? So today I would just say is that easy rest, reprieve, relax. There's a beauty and a bliss vibration today, and maybe we can take some of that softness with us into tomorrow. Maybe set up tomorrow so that intentionally you have a couple soft landings. Creeps me out a little bit that I'm talking like this because I'm not a planner. I'm like, what's coming up tomorrow? I'm scaring myself. Well, okay. Now I really am done. Blessings, everybody. Have a really great evening, and I'll see you later. Bye.